The following program, Live and Learn, is made possible by Aging Partners. Find out more on their website.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live and Learn. I'm your host, Jerry Renaud. We have a very special program for you today from a very special place, the Lincoln Children's Zoo. You can see we're on the train ride right now. Just one of the many things you can do if you come to the zoo. We're going to do a little walking tour with the former CEO and President Emeritus, John Chapo. It'll be great. Don't go away. You are watching footage of the Lincoln Children's Zoo. It's a fabulous place, and I encourage you to go down and visit it. And if you have not, we're going to give you a chance to do that today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live and Learn. I'm your host, Jerry Renaud. We want to give you a little walking tour of the Lincoln Children's Zoo today, and what better person to do it and help us out is John Chapo. John, you were the longtime CEO here. Now you are President Emeritus, so this will be fun. Thanks for coming to the show.
You know, thank you for being here, Jerry. You know, I'm so proud of the Lincoln Children's Zoo and what the community has done with their Lincoln Children's Zoo. I mean, ever since we opened the gates in 1965, it was conceived by the community. It's been nurtured by the community. So it's, you know, it's hats off to the great Lincoln, you know, community that we have. They love their children's zoo. They cherish their children's zoo. They enjoy their children's zoo, and they've given us this opportunity to be here today and have this great experience.
Yeah, they really do support it.
They do.
Tell us about your experience. And I sort of read your bio, and I've known each other for a long time, but you said when you came here it was a few acres and a bunch of farm animals.
Exactly.
And my goodness, look at what we have now. Look how things have changed.
It was small. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't all that terrific, okay? And, you know, I was only going to be here for 2 or 3 years, because who wants to live in Lincoln, Nebraska,
Well, sure,
right? You know,
yeah.
it's like Lincoln, Nebraska. Well, you know, I fell in love with the zoo, and I fell in love with Lincoln. I fell in love, okay? And Tracy and I have celebrated 34 wonderful years, got 3 wonderful sons, and just the zoo, and I saw the great potential of the zoo and the community, and so it's been a lot of fun. I started volunteering my hometown zoo in South Indiana 50 years ago. I was a 15-year-old kid. I'm a happy 65-year-old now, okay? And it's just been zoo my entire life, and just watching it grow and watching us be able to bring iconic animals, awesome experiences for our community, collaborating with Lincoln Public School with the Science Focus program, collaborating with the university, being education to preschoolers and everything in between, and being a great place for seniors too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because we have so much for seniors just as well. I don't care if you're 3 years old or 103, coming to the zoo, riding the train, feeding Leo, seeing the animals. It's just as much fun when you're older than when you're young. And you know what? There's just a lot of things happening at your Lincoln Children's Zoo.
Yeah, and you have really a great staff, and it has really grown over the year. But the one thing I thought is also nice is that you are looking for volunteers.
Oh, absolutely. We're always looking for volunteers, you know, help us engineer the train, master gardeners working in our gardens, because, you know, the zoo is really complex now. It's really grown over the years. It's got a lot larger with the vegetation. We need volunteers to help engineer the train. So just go to the zoo's website, lincolnzoo.org, and you click on volunteer opportunities, and we'll keep you busy, because we need lots of help to make your Lincoln Children's Zoo the great place that it is.
Fabulous. Well, let's start our little walking tour, and we'll probably take a look at our giraffes.
Let's enjoy the zoo.
Yes. All right, so we are here with the giraffes, and John is going to, I think, feed one of them, give them some lettuce, which is always lots of fun. And if you get a chance to come down, you can do that as well. John, let's talk about the giraffes. Everywhere I go in the zoo, I think that's the most spectacular part. But the giraffes are really spectacular. Tell us a little bit about how this all came about and this project.
Well, you know, the giraffes are the mega stars here at the Children's Zoo. I mean, they are the iconic animal that all the kids love. And, you know, giraffe planning actually probably goes back about 7 or 8 years, to be very honest with you. The team has been dreaming this a long time, that Lincoln needs to have this awesome experience that we have here at the Lincoln Children's Zoo with the giraffe. So we did a lot of planning, did a lot of design work, sent people around the country literally measuring facilities, talking to the directors, keepers, curators. We did a lot of research, because what we have here at Lincoln is one of the very best leading facilities for giraffe in the entire country. We have other zoos coming to us measuring, asking questions, talking design. We had Kansas City here just a couple of weeks ago. We had Cheyenne Mountain here a couple of months ago. So it's just our professionals going, you built the best and we want to replicate it. And it's because of our great community supporting the Big Zoos campaign.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. Now, as we're inside here, the giraffes are both inside and outside, and we'll show the folks what it's like outside as well. But we're inside here, and you can see, what do we have, 4 adults and 3 children?
At this point, I believe that's who's out here right now, exactly. Okay. This is the day room, and this is the room where we're in the few zoos in the country that you can feed the giraffe every day of the year. Okay, the weather is beautiful, and our beautiful great Nebraska summers are outside, but in November, December, January, February, that's not exactly conducive to giraffe health outside, okay? So the giraffe are here during the day world. Folks come right on in. As you see, the giraffe come right up and love to be fed here. So even when it's cold and blistery out, you know, and blustery, the giraffe are here and the kids can feed them. So we got this great day room. We got some bedrooms for the giraffe as well. It's heated, it's air conditioned, it's got heated floors, it's got extra soft floors as well, easy around their ankles and their legs, the huge air turnover. So it's really a giraffe palace here that the people and the giraffe get to use.
Now, I'm assuming that since the giraffes are mostly in Africa, they're not crazy about the cold weather?
No, they're not crazy at all. And we got to be careful because we don't want giraffes slipping and sliding on ice outside. And you know, those are long legs, and we don't want any leg injuries. Okay, so yeah, they're not cold buggy at all, right? Beautiful. I'm sorry, I'll get some more for you. I'll get some more for you when you're outside, I promise.
Perfect. Now, what is going to happen to the babies? I assume they are not going to stay here.
The Lincoln Children's Zoo works nationally and internationally with our colleagues globally and in the United States. And that's why the giraffe planning has been so long in the planning stage, is because we are partners with zoos everywhere. And one of our lead giraffe keepers says we're a make and take zoo, because we got these wonderful giraffes with great genetics, so we will send them off to other zoos for breeding purposes. Every breeding here is very planned and intentional. We have the genetics on every animal here in captivity. Wow. Okay, we know who's related. We know if their genetics are overly represented or underly represented. Just like our big male Joey, his genes are very underly represented. So the breeding group nationally says, let's increase the number of his. So you always want a deep gene pool, okay? Sure. And so that's why it's all planned. And we're very fortunate that we got great animals, great facilities, and we're able to send these animals. The babies, as we love them, they're going to move on and become members of other zoos here in the country.
Right, and that's just kind of the way giraffes operate even in the wild, right?
Well, that's just it. You know, a male will have his harem of females, but then another male may come along and take a couple of females away. And that's how you keep stirring the gene pool, shall we say. Yeah. You know, you get those females, those babies with other males and things like that. So, you know, it's very much a herd management kind of thing. But, you know, all the animals at the Lincoln Children's Zoo, the vast majority of them are all part of a planned breeding program.
Okay, we're taping this in late August, but we are going to air this in October. Will the babies still be here?
Stay tuned on what babies will be here in October. I'm not really certain, because we have a big planning meeting in September. Like I said, nationally, all the giraffe folks get together and figure out who needs to go where. And I'll be very honest with you, the smaller the giraffe, the easier the transport.
Sure, sure.
When you got to take a giraffe across country, you don't want an 18-footer. You'd rather go with a 10-footer.
Right, yeah. Absolutely. So now we are outside with the giraffes. They're eating some lettuce, having lots of fun doing that. They're such interesting creatures with the size.
They are.
Talk a little bit about that, because it's just fascinating.
Remarkable. They are remarkable creatures. You know, when you look at these tongues, the tongues are black. Do you know why they got a black tongue?
No idea.
So it doesn't get sunburned in the wild, because giraffes are feeding constantly in the wild and here at the zoo, and so they didn't want those tongues sunburned. So that's why they have nice black tongues, okay? And you can kind of rule of thumb, for every foot of giraffe, you get an inch of tongue, okay? There you go. You gotta be fast around here. Yeah. And other fascinating things too is their neck bones. They have as many neck bones as you and I do. 7, okay? Except their neck bones have rotator cuffs in them, and they're longer neck bones. So the physiology of giraffes is really, really quite remarkable when you look at them. And they have no upper teeth on the front, okay? And they ruminate just like cows do, okay? Just like cattle. So, I mean, so they are kind of long-necked Nebraska cattle, shall we say, right? You're just you're just here. You're just a
voracious
pig, aren't you?
eaters here.
Yeah, yes, you are. So they're just fast. So the different adaptations, they have one of the largest hearts of all the animals, about a 20+ pound heart, okay, because of pumping all that blood. The heart is so big it's got a bone in it to keep it, because that's just that they have the highest blood pressure of mammals as well. Because when you got to get blood pumped all the way up that long neck, it's you know, there you go. Okay, there you go. Snorkel away.
Historically, how did the giraffe become what the giraffe is today?
You know, that's just that they filled the niche in the wild because of other animals browsing lower. These guys are browsers, they're not grazers, okay? Cattle are grazers, meaning they eat off the ground, where these guys are browsers, so they feed higher up, they eat the trees and the branches. And there are other animals that kept eating, so the giraffes had to just keep stretching their neck and stretching their neck. And you know, you can get a big male 18 feet tall, and that tongue reaching out another 1.5 feet, so they can be feeding 20 feet up.
Wow.
So the adaptations they've had with that long neck for feeding, and they're always chewing as well to stimulate saliva, because there's a lot of digestion that's got to go on and a lot of food moving up and down that long neck. So generating that saliva, all these adaptations, it's pretty remarkable creatures.
Yeah, they are, and they're fun when they're outside because you get to see them run and move a little bit more than a little bigger space than inside.
They get, especially, we love it when the little ones get the zoomies. When the babies get the zoomies and they start running around, it's hilarious. You see these 3 babies running, so it's just we got a great outdoor habitat for them here. They come out, stretch their legs, get some shade, and get fed too by the public.
Absolutely. Okay, so we are at another inside exhibit. So these are the spider monkeys. They are just wild and so fun to watch.
Now, a lot of viewers will remember the old smelly zoo building with the spitting monkey.
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, we're in that same old zoo building that's been totally renovated. We kept the outside intact. It's a WPA significant structure, okay? But the city had gutted it, and so we've actually brought monkeys back. But these monkeys are guaranteed not to spit on you. These are critically endangered spider monkeys. They're very, very critically endangered because of habitat loss. They've been taken into the pet trade. So it's really important that the zoo teamed up with other zoos to get these animals to breed. And we have 3 adults and 2 successful, beautiful babies here running around here. There's Angelina and Tani. Tani's 2 years old. She's the biggest of the 2. Angelina's about 1 year old as well. And so we're really excited to have them here at the zoo to help add to that deep genetic pool. And you know what? Just like the monkeys can climb 20 feet up, so can the kids. That's the beauty about this whole exhibit, Jerry, is that the kids get to have as much fun as the monkeys are. We have 1,200 square feet of climbing apparatus all the way up here. The kids can go up 20 feet and be nose to nose with the monkeys way up on top. It's all about fun. It's all about interaction. It's all about conservation of an endangered species.
And do the monkeys interact with?
Oh, absolutely. They love it. I mean, especially Tani. She comes over here. Hey, Trouble. Yes, you. Yes. Are you Trouble? Yes. Yes, you are. You're spoiled rotten. Yes. Yes, you are. You're beautiful. Hi. Hi, Angelina. Yes. And so that's just the beautiful thing about it. The monkey's habitat, it's rich, and the people seeing them, interacting with them, it's rich for the kids, it's rich for the monkeys.
Is it going to be the same scenario with the babies? Will the babies move on to another zoo somewhere?
Again, their genes are very, very important, so it's all part of that national breeding program, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised as they get older if they go to another zoo for breeding purposes, exactly. We have 3 adults, adult male, adult female, and that one adult female, she's post-reproductive, so she's kind of an auntie. She showed the young mom how to be a mom because the young mom never had a baby before.
Right.
So Auntie says, this is how you nurture, this is how you nurse. And so that very much, you know, they're primates just like you and me. So that's what's important about the social structure of monkeys.
How long will an adult monkey live?
Oh, spider monkeys, these can live well into their 30s.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they're a long-lived primate. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
And how old are these? I know we have the young ones, but
the youngsters are 2 and 1. I think mom and dad are pushing 10. I know Auntie is maybe she's pushing 20. So they're not youngsters, but they're good adult animals.
They're incredibly active for.
Well, they're spider monkeys, with that prehensile tail. It gives them, I mean, if you had that prehensile tail, it makes you a lot more agile and quicker when it comes to climbing trees and doing
Well,
things.
yes, of course.
That fifth hand is really great. They can just hang there and feed or do whatever, or stabilize themselves as they reach out for things, and it just gives them a whole different ability.
Yeah, I was telling Erin Lenz, who helped us, we need to get her name in there somewhere. Yeah. They're so much more active than when I saw them the other day.
Well, it's all time of the day, just like, you'll play or go golfing for a while, then you go put your feet up and have a beer or something like that. Animals have the same, animals have cycles too. Just like, your cat at home. Sleeps probably 20 hours a day, kind of glares at you the other 4,
right.
Okay? And that's a high-level predator for you. Predators sleep more than herbivores that are out there feeding all the time, or primates that are out scavenging for food. So all kinds of different activity levels all day long for an animal.
Very cool. They're really fun.
They are.
All right, I guess we better move on.
We got a lot of things to see.
We do. Okay, so as you can tell, we've now moved over by the tigers, and I am here in the Jeep, and I'm probably on my expedition looking more for tigers, and you'll see them back here behind us. These are just spectacular animals.
They're remarkable creatures, and it's a good thing we're filming right now, because when the kids show up, you'd be out of that Jeep so quick. The kids would be saying, "It's our Jeep, come on."
That's right.
And exactly right. This is the Sumatran tiger habitat area, and we have Axel and Kumar, a couple of brother Sumatran tigers. This is a beautiful space for them. Kids can get up close to them. The animals have a great space. And what's really fascinating about them, what's sad, is that they're almost extinct in the wild. There's maybe 400 or 500 in the wild. They're a very, very critically endangered species. And that's why the Lincoln Children's Zoo said, we'll team up with other zoos, and we'll help to be a part of that genetic diversity. So we're holding on to Axel and Kumar in preparation of them maybe moving someplace else in the country and becoming daddies, okay? So and that's all part of that great plan, is to help save these animals from extinction.
Now, is part of the reason they're both males is that you're not interested in the mating part of it right now?
If for us to be in the position to have an adult sexual pair, we would need to have some more facilities.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to put it this way, but when the male and female get together, they only get together for one reason, and then dad has nothing to do with raising the cubs. So we'd have to make certain that there's lots of space for dad and mom totally separate. This way, Axel and Kumar have the space all together, and they have fun playing with each other. It's pretty uncommon to have adult tigers like this, but they were both born in the San Diego Safari Park, about 6 months apart, and they came here together, and they play, and they enjoy this habitat, romping and having a lot of fun, and just calling Lincoln home.
Now, are we making progress in the mating process and having more of these tigers?
Well, there's only 17 zoos about in the country that are working with the Sumatran tiger program. The Sumatran tigers are big animals. Even though they're the smallest of the big tigers, only about 260 pounds, where the Amur tiger can get up to over 500 pounds. There's only so much space in zoos, so we're working very, very hard to make more space to help save these guys. And the numbers are steady and going up a little bit, but not going up as fast as we like them to go up, to be honest with you.
They are incredibly gorgeous and powerful animals.
They are phenomenally powerful. They're a top-level predator, but they're doing what cats usually do. After they fed and played a little bit, it's sleepy time.
Right,
So, but they are remarkable. We're very lucky that we can have them here at the Lincoln Children's Zoo, and that kids can be kids as well.
Yes, they get to play on the Jeep, which is lots of fun. Perfect. All right, let's move on. So we are here with the giant anteater behind us here. It's a fascinating animal. And again, when I was here the other day, Mama was here with the baby, and now this is
Daddy.
This is Daddy.
This is Daddy.
And they're never together.
No, we don't keep mom and dad together. The baby likes to hang on tight to mom, and we don't want the baby to get between mom and dad. Yeah. So it's just a lot safer this way, keep them a lot separate, and dad's enjoying the outside today. It looks like he's snarfing his breakfast over here now.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the anteater.
The anteater is a strange creature. I mean, and what's really fascinating about the anteater is they're extremely dangerous. And you're going, well, how can that animal with a mouth that big be dangerous? Well, if you get a chance to look at their front claws, the front claws are like velociraptor claws. They are long, they're over 3 inches long, and they're great for ripping logs, termite mounds apart. They can rip things apart so quickly, including you and me, if we got in the way, okay? And people say, well, you could outrun them. Anteaters are a lot faster than you realize.
Really?
Okay. These guys are from way down south in South America, in the Pantanal, and they're out. And people say, well, how many ants can an anteater eat in a day? 30,000. This long tongue, with very sticky long tongue, it just shoots down into termite holes or ant holes and just sucks them all up, just right back in. Because like I said, their mouth is very, very small. It's all the function of that long tongue pulling it all back in. The zookeepers have a special diet here called an insectivore diet that they prepare every day. That's a good zoo diet that's full of all the same protein and a good balanced diet that they would be getting in the wild. Plus, what they really like, they like an avocado. It's fascinating to see that tongue. That tongue is really strong. You go in there and just slice out a piece of avocado and they just enjoy it very much. Avocado, lemon. So it's really, they're fascinating creatures. I love these guys. I mean, and they're just so odd looking. I mean, it looks like half their body is tail. And that's what mom does when mom's nursing the baby. The baby comes and she'll lay down, the baby goes to nurse, then she takes her tail and covers themselves up.
Oh.
Nice private time for the baby to nurse.
Very cool. Now, are these animals are they endangered
They're
species?
endangered too, yeah. All the species, all the animals in the zoo's expansion that we opened up a couple of years ago are all endangered, critically endangered, or vulnerable to extinction species. They're all species that we, again, are working with other zoos around the country to help save them from extinction.
So the baby will be moved off to another zoo at some point in time.
Dad here is from the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago, Illinois. Mom is from Zoo Boise in Boise, Idaho. Where Lancaster goes, their baby, we don't know. Stay tuned.
Okay, very cool. All right, we are here with the penguins. This is another really popular spot. They are just as fun as they can be. They're sort of swimming in the water a little bit behind us. They're sunning over here. We're hoping that they give us a little talking to while we're doing the interview. But talk to us about the penguins. They're just fascinating.
You know, the Humboldt penguin is another endangered species. Okay, that's why the Children's Zoo is teaming up with other zoos to help breed these little guys. And they're a fascinating little animal, the way they can swim through the water. And you know, people have to remember that they are birds. Okay, people may say, well, but they don't have feathers. Well, yes, they do have feathers. Well, very, very short feathers, okay, that are very water repellent. Plus they got a good layer of blubber, so they are indeed a bird. If you especially get some video of them, they actually are flying through the water with those little flippers out there. So these are actually a temperate climate penguin, okay? Meaning we have to worry about frostbite with these guys with Nebraska winters, so they have a nice indoor place with an indoor pool and skylights and everything, because they can get frostbite. They're from the west coast of Peru, and so it's more temperate down there. So they're not the Antarctic penguins that everybody thinks about. And so we have to worry about these. And these guys are probably the middle-sized penguins. There's some smaller ones, fairy, and there's the bigger emperors as well. But these are kind of the mid-sized penguins.
Yeah, usually what you see is them sliding on the ice. Yep. And how did this group get to Peru?
I think they probably follow the fish, because you know, quite often it depends on the animals follow the food. And these guys were filling in a niche down there that was working out very well. These guys nest, they make burrows actually, you know, along the cliff. So they actually will carve out little burrows. So it's really quite fascinating. And people go, well, and how much food can a little guy like this eat? A penguin can eat 20% of their weight a day.
Oh my.
Okay, so a 10-pound penguin can eat 2 pounds of fish a day. That'd be like you eating probably about 200 cheeseburgers a day, okay, a quarter pounder. So it's just, they're voracious little feeders. They don't chew their food. Their bills are very serrated, so it's great for grabbing fish and then just swallow it whole.
Now, they all look the same to me. Aaron can spot them and know them by name on each one. How do you? I can't seem to tell one of them apart.
The secret, don't tell anybody, okay? Look at their flipper.
Oh.
And when the kids come here, we've got a chart up here that shows you if you got a blue band on your left flipper, you're pebbles, okay? If you've got a blue band on your right, you're Lanny. So that's just it. So just look at their flippers, look at their banding, and that's the secret of telling out who is who. And every day the kids get to help feed the penguins at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock to help keep track of all the fish the penguins eat. So every day at the Lincoln Children's Zoo, coming out for eat that fish at 11 and 3 here at the zoo.
So you just have fish that you just throw
No,
into
no,
the
we
water?
you don't know. We hand feed each
Oh,
of the
you
penguins.
hand feed. Oh,
because we want
wow.
to make certain that each of them are getting the proper amount of food. Because if somebody's only eating 2 fish a day or not eating, we got to say, what's going on? Are you getting ready to molt? Are you ill? What's going on? So no, the zookeepers keep so much detail of all the animals here, exactly what they consume and what they don't consume. So it's quite a science being a zookeeper here at the Lincoln Children's
Boy,
Zoo.
I guess it is.
It really is.
Now, the young ones, do they move off at some point as well?
It all depends on the genetics, exactly. You know, we do have Pebbles. Pebbles was hatched here. They don't have birthdays, they have hatch days, okay? And now Pebbles is now, it's hard for me to tell which one is Pebbles because she's gotten out of her baby coat.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
she's now has an adult feather. So they're very likely Pebbles may go on to another zoo. It depends on, we got to stir the genetic pot and send her off to another zoo. Stay tuned on that.
Wow, look at them go.
They are pretty phenomenal little creatures. Very iconic and very popular here at your Lincoln Children's.
How long have they been here?
The penguins arrived in 2010.
Okay,
So they're newer. Yeah, but this is one of the older habitats in the zoo that we've remodeled numerous times, and this, 30,000 gallons is just a great pool for them.
yeah. Okay, so as long as we're here,
Yeah.
right over your shoulder, I keep looking, I'm fascinated by the peacocks. You have 3 or 4.
They're roaming the zoo grounds.
They roam the zoo grounds.
Yep.
They're not in cages. They're not
Nope,
in anything.
nope, nope.
I asked Aaron. I said, "Well, how do they stay here? Why don't they just go?"
It's so safe here with 3 square meals a day. It's comfortable, it's safe. Would you want to venture out there? This is a great place for them to be. It's safe. We got great trees for them to roost in because they do roost up in trees. So fly 10, 15, 20 feet up into and roost up there. People don't think they can fly. They can fly very, very well.
Yeah.
This guy's molting right now. Okay, so he's losing those pretty feathers, those pretty eye feathers that everybody loves to collect. Okay, birds, just like the penguins, they molt usually on an annual basis. Okay, so he's growing out his new ones now. By the fall, he'll be beautiful again.
Okay, cool. Now, and where did they come from? I mean, just they've been here a long time.
We've always had peacocks here, and originally they're from India.
Oh,
Okay, much like all the pheasants that have been brought we bring here to Nebraska and the United States, there's not a single native pheasant. They've all been imported from Asia. Pheasants are from Asia originally, and peacocks are just big pheasants.
Okay. Well, they're just gorgeous, and
They are that.
and they're all over the zoo. So
And keep in mind, these are peacocks, these are boys. We don't have any peahens on the zoo ground.
Okay.
And you know what? Hate to say it, but the boys are the pretty ones, the girls aren't.
all right. Well, that's probably a reason for that too.
So they can hide with their chicks in the underbrush and not be seen.
Absolutely.
And the boys look pretty so they can get females.
Very cool.
Yep.
So we have finished our tour. It was a quick one. There is so much more to see. We just didn't get to see everything because it's just such a fascinating place.
We're Lincoln's #1 tourist attraction when it comes to arts and culture and being a destination. It's your Lincoln Children's Zoo. So you're absolutely right, Jerry. We got a lot packed in here, and we've teased you just a little bit.
Absolutely. John, thank you so much. Before we go, let's talk about a couple of things because as I said earlier, we're airing this in October. So during October, we have a fabulous event, Boo at the Zoo, and you want to tell them about your costume and what's going on and the fun that you get to have. And then we have the zoo lights coming in December.
Exactly, yeah. October 26th through 30th, always the 5 nights before Halloween, is Boo at the Zoo. A big fundraiser, a big friend-raiser, and a great event for our community. It's a guaranteed merry, not scary, safe trick-or-treating opportunity we have here at the zoo all 5 of those nights. Many people can't go to their neighborhoods anymore because they don't know their neighbors trick-or-treating.
Right.
They're guaranteed wonderful treat stations here, a lot of fun, a lot of decorations, and they're always welcomed by the Wizard, of course.
Oh, yes.
Okay, the Wizard, this will be the Wizard's 36th year of
Wow.
welcoming folks to Boo at the Zoo. So it's a merry, not scary, great way to have your kids have a great, safe opportunity, be your grandkids or your children, and just bring them to the zoo and have fun. Again, October 26th through 30th. And yes, you can always ride the train too at Boo at the Zoo.
Well, sure, you got to do that. And then quick, the zoo lights.
Oh, Zoo Lights powered by LES. It's a huge event. It's probably the Midwest's largest winter lights attraction. Starting the Friday after Thanksgiving on Black Friday all the way through December 30th, the zoo is aglow with millions of lights and all kinds of beautiful pieces. There's music, there's lights, there's s'mores, there's hot chocolate. It is just, it's a magical place to be. It's filled with magical memories. We have grandparents bringing their grandchildren and their children because it's become a family tradition. So Zoo Lights powered by LES, It's magical, it's memorable, and it's awesome here at Lincoln Children's Zoo the entire month of December.
Fabulous. John, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
It's been a lot of fun. I'll see you at the zoo.
Very good.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for joining us today. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. I'm your host, Jerry Renaud, and remember, it's never too late to live and learn.